Hey guys, this is Allie with iMore and PixelFix, and today we're going to look at how to replace the antenna in a CDMA iPhone. So this would be for Verizon or Sprint, iPhone 4. You'll have this issue if you have no signal bars. Your cellular antenna might need to be replaced. So the first thing we're going to do is look at what you need for this. You're going to need a replacement cellular antenna, which looks like this. They'll come with adhesive on the back most of the time. Then you're going to need a pry tool, a 00 screwdriver, and a security screwdriver. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to power off our phone. Never do any repair without powering off your device first. So once the device is powered off, then we're going to go down here. We're going to unscrew the back. With our security screwdriver, remove the 2 dot connector screws. All Verizon or Sprint iPhone 4s will have security screws unless you've replaced them with 00 screws. So we're going to remove those, set them aside, and as a side note, try to keep your screws in order. Some of them are different. So now we're going to pop off the back, just slide it up, pops off. Okay. Next what we're going to do is we're going to need to remove the battery. So we're going to use our 00 screwdriver. We're going to remove the one screw that's holding in the battery. And we're going to set that aside. Now we're going to take our pry tool and we're going to gently pry up the battery clip that's holding it on. Typically it's easiest to come in from over here. Just pry it up gently. And then we're also going to take our pry tool, run it along the side of the battery. I typically run it along this side. There's no cables you can damage. I don't like to use this pull tab because it sometimes breaks off and it can bend the battery. So set the battery aside. Now, we're going to remove the little Wi-Fi grounding clip, or not Wi-Fi, sorry, cellular antenna grounding clip right here. It's covering the tip of it, so set that screw aside. And you're going to notice that there's a tiny little grounding clip right here. I'll show you what this looks like. You just want to make sure you don't lose it. And that's your grounding clip. So we'll set that aside with the screw that was holding it in. Now we're going to take our pry tool, and you can see right here that this is your cellular antenna. So all we're going to do right now is pop it off the logic board, and it's wound around some little brackets, so we're just going to back it up and guide it out and set that aside. And now we're going to look at the 2 dot connector screws right here. This is your dot connector shield. So we're going to need to remove the 2 screws holding the shield in place. And we're going to lift this shield up. And now we can see the dot connector cable. So all we're going to do is pry this up with our pry tool. And gently peel it back. There is adhesive here. This one's been taken apart, so the adhesive isn't as strong, but you might need to be careful and pull it off gently so you don't rip it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the 2 screws holding the speaker assembly in, because your cellular antenna is connected to the speaker antenna. So we're going to remove these 2 screws. And the screw on the left will have a little black triangular spacer. It's plastic underneath the screw, so just make sure you don't lose that. This is a test phone, so I don't have it in here. But you'll see that in yours. It's just a little black spacer that sits underneath the screw, and you'll just need to replace that when you reassemble. So now that we've unhooked the speaker assembly, we're just going to pry it up. And here's your cellular antenna. It's held on with 2 screws and some adhesive on the back side. Now I've right here. So I have a new speaker, or a new cellular antenna right here to show you kind of what this is like. You've got some adhesive on the back that'll help you stick it on here. So I'm not going to remove this one because it's not bad, but as you can see, what you're going to do is remove the adhesive. You're going to peel the old one off, and then you're going to sit the new one in here just like this and bend that screw down in the hole, just like so. Then you're going to fold the top part up and screw it in place. Once you've done that, Then you're ready for reassembly, and all you're going to do for this is you're going to seat this back in here, and we'll point out that you've got little teeth on this assembly, if you can see those, and you're going to want to make sure they're below this rim. So you might need to use your pry tool to push them in place. If you break off one, that's okay. If you break off two, that's still okay, but if you break off more than two, you're going to have a problem with reception. So you're just going to want to make sure that they're pushed down. I'm going to turn it this way so I can see a little bit better. And the first tooth might get caught on the top of the logic board, so you just need to use your pry tool to push it down. Okay, so we've got all 4 teeth placed below the little metal hinge, and now we are ready for reassembly. So all we're going to do is we are going to take the 2 screws that came out of the dock, or the speaker assembly, and replace those. And remember, the left screw, you need to replace the little black spacer as well underneath the screw. Okay, so once that's done, we're going to wind our cellular antenna back through these little brackets, and we're going to push it back down to the logic board. And with a new cellular antenna, it might be a little stiff, so you might have to, use your pry tool to guide it in there. And then we are going to take our grounding clip that we took out. The reason I do this as opposed to doing it last is because the dot connector cable covers it up a little bit, so it's easier to put it back in at this point. So we're just going to line it up and take our screw. And the easiest way I found to do this is to use my finger to hold the little gold part down as I screw, so then I know it's on there straight. And now we're going to put down our dot connector cable and then put our shield over it and replace the 2 screws that hold down the dot connector shield. Now we're ready to reinsert our battery. The easiest way I found to do this is you first want to snap the battery down, snap it into place, then lay the battery down. And now we can replace the screw that holds the battery down. And we can slide on our back, just the opposite of what you did before. You're going to seat it in there and then slide down. And then replace our 2 dot connector screws, and if everything went correctly, when you power on your phone, you should have cellular reception again. Questions or comments, check out our mod and DIY forum where myself and other members would be more than willing to help. Thanks for watching.